Hey guys, this is your Thursday video. Hello, how are you guys doing? So this week I decided we'll talk about something that's not really a concern of gay people but has become a concern because ultimately what happens to the straights in this country also happens to us. And I'm talking about arranged marriage. Now, it just happens that this morning as I was exiting my house along with my mother, who I had to drop somewhere, we met a neighbor, a couple who's a neighbor of ours, not really close neighbors, but they're close enough. So this guy used to be a doctor of mine when I was a kid, not really a pediatrician, but he was a doctor that I went to when I was sick. And along with him was his wife. And now these both people are medical doctors, but really. Anyways, so we met this couple and she didn't say hello to me. His wife didn't say hello to me. She didn't say hi, how are you doing or something like that. Her only direct question was, when are you getting married? Now, to get married in India is such a pressuring thing that all people feel this pressure when they get to a certain age. And it's usually around the age of 21, 22, 23 that people start mentioning the M word, and then it continues till you get married, and that's usually at the age of 26 to 28 when men get married. Now, in case of straight people, obviously they can delay their marriage and they can get married and take the arranged marriage route. That's perfectly all right for them. But for a gay man to be pressurized by his friends, his family, by his neighbors even, to get married can be completely nerve-wracking. So I can imagine. Now, I am an out and out homosexual. I am proud of who I am. I'm completely openly gay to most people, and my mother obviously knows that I have a boyfriend. I live with my boyfriend. So, but still, in my neighborhood, there are many people who don't know. So the immediate neighbors, they might know, and the people I interact with in the neighborhood know. But in these occasional people that have no clue, sometimes just come into your life and then they remind you of their presence. Now, the right response to that woman in this morning would have been, thank you so much for asking about when I'm getting married, but I already have a boyfriend and I have an alternative sexuality and I'm very happy, thank you very much. But somehow I restrained myself because I don't see this person every day, and I really don't need to come out to people who I'm not probably going to talk to again in the next 3 years or 4 years. But I felt kind of bad after that I should have possibly given her a reply like on the lines of, thank you very much, but I'm already taken. But having said that, I feel really bad for straight people as well as gay people who are undergoing this whole process of this whole torment of being forced to get married. And forced marriage, not the kind of like forcing of social pressure, but forced marriage as a forced marriage when parents actually put pressure on their kids to get married, whether they like it or not, is a big problem in this country. Forced marriage leads to so many problems, honor killings, not only that, but also to some extent, forced marriage means that young people cannot marry the people they like. And many times, most of them are straight people. They can't marry their girlfriend or their boyfriend because they belong to a different caste, a different community, different religion. Sometimes they just can't marry because the parents simply don't approve that the child is allowed to pick their own partner. Now, in terms of forced marriage though, what is very surprising is that in the United Kingdom there are actually laws that prohibit forced marriage. And we have such laws to protect young people against this problem. But in India, there is no law that will basically help you if you're being forcefully married to somebody. So consent is something that the Indian society likes to squash irrespective of sexuality. And for gay people it's obviously more difficult, but to explain that you're going to marry somebody or be with somebody of your own gender to a parent becomes completely difficult for young people. What I feel needs to be done in this regard is that we need to have a strong a message going out to parents in India that if you force your children to marry against their will, you are going to go to prison. But not only go to prison, it is something that is not going to be approved of in society. But unfortunately, we have an exactly opposite society where the law enforcement, the judiciary, and even the society actually approves of forced marriage. So until or unless that changes, we will have a situation where more and more people, even in this day and age, are going to be forced into marriage to a partner that they don't like, and then they'll have to settle down, raise a family, and be with a person that they have no inclination, urge, or desire to be with. Now, what can we do about straight forced marriage as gay people? Well, we can do a lot. First of all, we can do is we can talk with our own parents. We can talk to them about who we are as people, and the need for them to respect us as individuals. And that's the key word here, respect. Parents in India always want loads and loads of respect from their children, but this has to flow both ways. Children need to be respected as consenting adults by their parents as well. And if that respect is denied by the parents, then you should stop giving them the respect that they always lay a claim on. And this can only happen, obviously, if you are independent yourselves, if you are not only independent financially, but also socially and mentally. And this mental dependence on your parents and the dependence of parents on their children is evil. I'm going to repeat this. It is evil because it leads to kind of a social obligation towards your parents, which should end at a certain age. Excuse me. I believe that by fostering independence in place of codependence, we can create a society that is truly representative of the times that we live in. Now, I'm going to post a link from an article I read in the New York Times today, down there in the description. Go through it, read it, and then you realize that not only does the social dependence on your parents translate into a weaker personal life where you are not able to be the person who you want to be, but it's also basically instead of being a strength as many Indians perceive it, that the family system is India's strength, is actually weakening the country. It's leading us into a society where we depend increasingly upon our parents for who we are. And you see it in politics, you see it in film industry, you see it in sports. Increasingly, people are just a copy of who their parents are. And it all starts in parenting and in the relationship between a parent and a child. And somehow it continues to have its impact throughout. So go through the article and read it, and it's brilliantly written. And let me just say before I sign off that in case you are being forced to marry, don't think that you do not have a choice. You always have a choice, even if the choice is just being on your own. But being with somebody that you really don't want to be with means ruining many lives. But being with yourself means a chance to develop your own personality. It may be a challenge to you because you have always been codependent on your parents and you've always depended on them, but maybe it's a chance to see who you are on your own, and it may not be such a bad thing. Now, I'm not advocating that you have discord and bad relationship with your parents, certainly not, but I'm saying that you should have a relationship with your parents on your terms as well as theirs, and not just their terms. So if they tell you my way or the highway, take the highway. You may be surprised, it may not be so bad after all. So this is all I have to say this week, and if you like these videos, all you have to do is click over there and you can subscribe. Each time I make a video, which is usually on Thursdays, you are going to get an update. And if you like what I had to say, simply click on the like button and give me a like. You know, all that fun stuff that you have to do on YouTube. So this is all I have for this week, and I'll see you guys next week, and take care of yourselves. See you. Bye.